Hey guys, and in today's episode of Cube vs. Cube, we have the Shengshou 5x5 versus the Moyu Huachuang. Okay, so this episode of Cube vs. Cube won't be that exciting because we all know that the Moyu is going to win, but let's just see how the Shengshou does compared to the Moyu. So we're just going to be using our regular 4 categories. These categories are, if you don't know, they'll be listed here. General info, speed and feel, corner cutting and lockups, and design flaws such as popping. And then each one of these cubes will be rated on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the best and 1 being the worst. And then whichever cube has the most points at the end wins. So let's get into it. Okay, the price of the Moyu is very expensive. It's around $40 at most cube stores. However, the Shengshou is hardly even a fourth of that price, being about $10 on most cube stores, maybe even less. Also, in this general info category, I include the sticker shades of these puzzles. So I'm going to put them both in checkerboard so we can check out the sticker shades. Okay, so you can obviously tell, that the Moyu shades are a lot better. The Shengshou shades are kind of dull, and the Moyu shades are nice and bright. The only problem I have with the Moyu is the red and the orange kind of look similar, and on the Shengshou they don't, but the green is just ugly on this Shengshou. So let's just see how they score. Okay, the score of the Moyu will be here the whole time, and the score of the Shengshou will be here the whole time. So in this category, I give the Shengshou a 3.5. It has an amazing price, and the stickers are usable but not the best by far. The Moyu is going to get a 3 because the price is terrible for this. It's worth it, but it's very, very expensive. And the stickers are amazing because they're Moyu shades, but I really don't like the red and the orange on this puzzle. Okay, now we're going to talk about the speed and the feel. So what I do to check the speed is I flick it as fast as I can and see how far it goes. So the Shengshou seems to be doing less than 180. Sometimes it can do about 180. So like right there it did 180, and right there it did. So it's around 180 degrees. The Moyu, I'll just put a little bit past. Okay, it seems to be doing a little bit slower than 180, but it does 180. Yeah. So they're about the same speed. Now let's talk about the feel. The Shengshou has a very crunchy feel and a very, it's hard to explain. It's smooth, but it's very crunchy. It's crispy. The Moyu's feel is smooth and it's sandy. It's very nice. It's fast. It feels like it's fast, and it feels a lot more sturdy than the Shengshou does. Okay, so in this category, I'm giving the Moyu a 4 out of 5 because it's fast and it has probably a lot of better feel. And the Shengshou is getting a 3 because it's okay, but its feeling isn't the best, and it's pretty fast. So that'll bump this up to 6.5 and this up to 7. Alright, now we're going to talk about corner cutting on these puzzles and lockups. So, corner cutting on the Shengshou can do about line to line with this one right here. Any more, it'll lock up like that. Then we have reverse on the Shengshou. Doesn't really want to do past a half a piece. It can do about that much with lockups. Inner layers on this puzzle are awful. It'll lock up like that all the time, all day long. And then reverse inner layers are even worse, so yeah. The Moyu will cut very good over that line, almost 45. It'll do it pretty easily. Then we have reverse on these layers. It can do almost a full Cubey with some lockups. Inner layers, it cuts through these pretty easily. It sometimes has that lockup. It's mostly fixed though. It'll do it sometimes if you really exaggerate it. Like that. Okay, and then inner layers can reverse corner cut about half a piece. Lockups. Okay, well the Shengshou locks up, and I told you it pops. That's an interesting example there. Okay, That's not uncommon. That actually happens all the time, so I was waiting for it. But continuing my statement, the Shengshou locks up ridiculous amount because it can't corner cut very well. I mean, algorithms don't really flow very nicely on it, but it's still manageable. The Moyu flows a whole ton better. I'm very slow with 5x5. I get like 230s, so yep, it's faster. I mean, the inner layers are much better than the Shengshou's inner layers. So, the Moyu's probably going to win in this category. So in these categories, I'm giving the Moyu a 4 and the Shengshou a 2. This is because the Moyu turns amazing. It doesn't really lock up that much and can actually reverse corner cut, and the Shengshou can't really do any of those things. So this gets bumped up to 8.5 and 11. Okay, the last category is design flaws. The Shengshou has many of them. It can pop very easily. I'll just demonstrate. Actually, I did demonstrate in the last category, but it's easy to pop. These lockups happen all the time, and there it goes right there. Oh, God. And, yeah, this sling is just unstable, and it just has some problems. The Moyu doesn't really pop. I've only had, like, one pop on it, and it's because my tensions are really loose. I mean, I can fit my thumb in there. But, it doesn't really pop. It doesn't really lock up too bad. It's pretty good when it comes to design flaws. No corner twisting or anything weird like that. Okay, for the last category, I'm giving the Moyu a 4.5, which gives it 15.5 as its final score, and a 2 to the Shengshou, which gives it a measly 10.5 as its final score. Now let's make a concluding thought. Okay, my final thoughts on these puzzles are the Shengshou is still a really good puzzle for beginner solvers or people that don't even speed solve, but the Moyu is the best 5x5, the Moyu Huachuang is probably the best 5x5 speed cube on the market. It definitely overtook the Shengshou, and they're both still really good puzzles, and the Shengshou, the price is what really you should buy it for. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Cube vs. Cube. Comment what you want me to do next, because I basically have every cube that you would possibly want me to compare. Thank you guys for watching, and bye.